Hello everyone, I'm Tom Palmer of Tom Palmer Custom Daisy Rifles in Mulder, Oklahoma. This is Friday, August the 8th, 2025, and I had a viewer subscriber to ask some questions about windage adjustment for the front sights, and so I had one little video I made about it, and but anyway, we're going to go over it a little thorough. Probably do another video someday. Different things, time changes, but anyway, so in the video I talked about before was particular guns like, here's one of your old favorites you're used to seeing, ORC. He just got some updated screws put in this morning that my buddy Shane Bruce over Resto Mod Daisy sent me, and got those installed, and ORC's looking good. But you know, he was shooting, I can't remember whether it was pretty hard to the left or right, and I showed you with these front sights, you're limited. I mean, there is no adjustment. I mean, you can't even get hold of that little rascal and bend him any, you know, if that's what you wanted to do. But anyway, so what I did, you remove the forearm, and you get your hand grip right about here and right about here, and put your knee right along in here and bend it a little bit every which way you want to go. If you want to go right, bend it to the right. If you want to go left, bend it to the left, and go real slow and easy. Now you can do that for elevation somewhat, because these back ones, they've got this step sight. Let's see if I can get it there, which you can use some, and you know, but you can bend this thing up and down too. But I'm warning you right now, be cautious when you do that, because you can kink the thing, and you don't want to do that. So you best just to stay away from that. But if you decide you want to do it, be very careful and don't mess your gun up. And it's not something that can't be overcome, but you don't want to do it to start with. But anyway, but the windage, the left and right, you can just, like I say, and that's one way you can adjust it on these. It's got this fixed. I mean, there's nothing really you can do with that sight. This is a 111, number 111 model 40 is what RC was. And so anyway, and then on the newer models, and that's what most people are shooting nowadays. Not everybody. A lot of us old timers, we stick with shooting the older stuff. I shoot a lot of the 1938Bs because I build a lot of them, and I like them. They're good guns. They make good guns. You can do a lot of stuff to them. But anyway, with this is a gun you're familiar with too, and this here is here's old Crusty Rusty. Remember old Crusty Rusty? And I hadn't never found me a medallion to put in there yet, but I'm still looking. I'm just not going to pay a big price for it. But anyway, and 1938B, which has the front sight. This is a 105B front sight on this, and the fiber optic. And so anyway, but these, there's a lot of things you can do with those. And but you can still, if you want to, you can still bend it like you can the 1938s, not the B, but the 1938s, the number 111 model 40s, and a host of others. You know, you can bend them. But the first thing that I figured out to do was take a standard sight. If it's a fiber optic, that's fine. If it's just a plain black one, that's fine. But every which way on the front sight, you want to move the sight the direction that you want it, the BB, to go. If you want to go left, you move it left. If you want to go right, you go right. The rear sight is right the opposite. If you want to go right, you move it left, and vice versa. But anyway, but you can take a hacksaw blade, and it's just and that's all you need. And it's about the right thickness. And you can get right in here. You can see where I've modified this one. See right in there? And you gotta start out easy. The gun that I had this on, it had quite the problem, because see how much of that, see how deep I cut into that one? And so it was really off. But But anyway, I went a different way on it and got it fixed. But I keep some of these sights around just to see if I can get it in. And but you just, like I say, on this, if you want to go see, you got to cut it on the opposite side if you want it to roll. You know, if you want it to go to the I get confused sometimes, but anyway, you just cut the notch in it, and the side will just roll over. I don't have a piece of a barrel in here or a gun to show you, but right here. But anyway, and just cut that, and just cut on the side that way you want to move. If you want it to go, you want it to go to the right, cut it on the right side and roll it around. And now it's got this piece down here on the bottom, and this piece right here locks in the bottom of the housing. So sometimes if you move very much, you'll have to grind that off a little bit till out to move. And of course, if you cut it off on this side with the hacksaw, then naturally over here you got to get it on the opposite side so it will let it roll. So you need to cut on this side, on this down here, and you'll let it roll when you do that. And anyway, that's a cheap way out that works. And if you get it where you want it, if it don't stay, I mean, there's ways you can make it stay, but you can put a drop of super glue on it or something if that's what you want to do. But most of the time, it's tight enough in there it won't move on you. And but anyway, and then after that, I talked to my friend Ben up in Pennsylvania that does my 3D printing stuff, and he's built me a ton of different stuff that we've talked about. Well, I talked to him about building me one of these adjustable front sights, and see that move? I think you can see that all right. But anyway, you got that much adjustment in it. And so anyway, it's they got it's made up of 4 pieces, I guess it is. You got the base, the plug that goes in the gun. And then you got the sight itself, and then you got these 2 pieces here, and that's what makes up that other sight. And I had him to not glue these some of them up for me, because I like just a little bit getting enough. I still couldn't get enough. And so what I do, the ones that he didn't put together, if I can get this back apart, I'll show you. I can show you anyway. This little piece, right? See that edge? You can grind this off right here. Yeah, see that little edge right there? You can grind that off, and it'll give you a little bit more. You do it on both sides, and then you can stick it in there because it just slides backwards and forth. And but anyway, that's a really nice piece there, and it works really well. And there's just different things. I mean, those sights, I forget. I'd have to look in my price list, see how much they are. I think they're, I don't know, maybe $15, $18 for that sight. But anyway. And then he made me for the Marlin, the new Umarex Marlin guns. He made me this front sight for it, and it's a plug, and it goes in. If you're familiar with the Marlin, it's got a big old gulky thing that goes over the outside of the barrel. It looks terrible, but this replaces that. It comes with this little plug to go in the fake magazine tube, because on the original Marlin, it's all one piece. The sight and that cover that covers that, it's all one piece. So you gotta have 2 pieces for that. And then also, this is for also for the Umarex Marlin scope rail for it, and it attaches on the side up there, and then back here it has a screw, because the Marlins, they don't have a top stock screw like a Daisy. So he designed this one and put a screw down through here to hold it, and that's a real nice piece too. And then you know, here's always an option. I use this for a rear sight, and you get adjustment up and down, elevation and windage both. It's a little. I think these are 20 bucks, and they're a daisy. They're a daisy sight. It's their cheaper $4.99 rear sight, and I use them quite a bit. I'll show you some of them. Let me get over here. There's, you can see up there on the wall, I've got on, I got on a 105B, and I got one on a 1938B hanging there. So you can see those. And let's see if we can get down here, we'll see the 105B. Yeah, there it is. But that's a nice rear sight for full adjustment. But anyway, and I mean, there's just gotta use your old thinker a little bit, and you can come up with ways to get these BBs on target. And that's what we want to do. That's what I strive to do here in my shop. Is before they leave, regardless, even if they just send them in for a rebuild or something, you know, I'll talk to the customer and say, hey, would you like me to get this thing on target while I got it? And most time they say yeah, or they'll say, well, it's already on target. So if it is, that's fine. It's kind of unusual. Usually they have trouble getting them left or right, or sometimes high enough. Usually the elevation with the standard daisy rear sight, you can usually make that happen. You know, just depending on how far you shoot. I shoot at 18 feet. Most of my customers, they talk about shoot 20 feet, about as far as they shoot them. And I mean, they might kick a tin can around a little further, but the accuracy on that is not quite as critical. But anyway, so that's a little bit on the sight thing. And like I say, you can bend those things. They're just sheet metal, and you can tweak them. And it don't take much, so don't get carried away. And you should be able to get on target. You know, and like this gun here, this is a 19. This is see, this is crusty rusty, and you know, his rear sight was broke off. You know, right there. Well, this spring anchor is out of a 105B, and the thing is, you can't buy those. You can't buy that spring anchor for a 105B. You see how I got it slotted to get it down, but I didn't want to put, because this is an older gun, and I thought this would be more appropriate than a real modern, fully adjustable sight, although I got a fiber optic on it. But anyway, this is what I wanted, so put that on there and got him tuned in, and old crusty rusty just shoots pretty good. But anyway, there's a little talk on the sights. If you have any more questions, just put it in the comments below, and I'll try to get to it and see if we can figure out what you need. And if I can help you, well, let me know. And if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, please, and tell your friends. And I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful.